Just as the Poison Clan elder unleashed his poison, Yeo-Woon charged straight toward him. The spectators gasped. As Yeo-Woon rushed forward, his skin appeared to burn under the poisonous energy. Everyone believed it was over. Just then, the dust settled, and the elder became visible. The atmosphere instantly changed. Yeo-Woon remained standing, completely unharmed. Shock spread through the crowd. The elder struggled back to his feet. He could not understand how Yeo-Woon had survived such poison. Without hesitation, Yeo-Woon attacked again. Realizing he had no choice, the elder unleashed his ultimate technique. An enormous wave of poisonous chi exploded outward and forced Yeo-Woon backward. The elder had reached the 8th level of poison arts. Ordinary warriors would have died instantly. Yeo-Woon calmly planted his dragon sword into the ground. Then he drew the heavenly demonic sword. The elder attacked once more. Poisonous chi surged toward him from all directions. But Yeo-Woon sliced through every attack with ease. His sword flashed again and again. Deep wounds opened across the elder's body. The final slash cut through his neck. Silence fell over the academy. Even Mu Yeon stared in disbelief. The 6th test was over. Yeo-Woon had won. The elder's body was carried away while countless cadets congratulated Yeo-Woon on his victory. Later, inside the director's office, the director suddenly knelt before him. Yeo-Woon was stunned. The director congratulated him and asked a strange question. Had he obtained the heavenly demonic founder's epiphany? To prove his sincerity, the director presented his family medallion and pledged his support during the upcoming Battle of Heirs. Seeing Yeo-Woon's confusion, the director began explaining the true history of the heavenly demonic cult. The sword art currently passed down from lord to lord was not the original heavenly demonic sword art. The real art had been lost 500 years ago. Long ago, the Lord's wife was chosen by the sacred flame. The child born from that union would become the next vice lord. Everything changed 500 years earlier. The Lord embarked on the pilgrimage to the heavenly mountain. He never returned. Most of his companions died alongside him. The one responsible was a terrifying warrior known as the Blade God, whom even the greatest swordsman in history could not defeat. Before his departure, the Lord had only one child, a daughter. With his death, the bloodline and the original heavenly demonic sword art were nearly lost forever. In the chaos that followed, the first elder, known as the Sword Demon, became the Vice Lord. His first goal was restoring the lost sword art. He entered the underground detention area and spent years studying the monoliths. The sword markings left behind were incomplete. Without the proper chi circulation methods, they could never reveal the entire technique. After 3 years of research, the Sword Demon created a replacement version of the heavenly demonic sword art. It became the sword technique used throughout the cult. Yeo-Woon asked why the Sword Demon had carved his own marks over the founder's teachings. The director explained that it had been unavoidable. The true technique still existed somewhere else, hidden away. The director continued his story. 2 years after the Lord's death, the Blade God began hunting the 5 greatest swordsmen in the world. 4 were defeated. Only the Sword Demon remained. Their battle lasted 4 days and 4 nights. In the end, neither could claim victory. The Sword Demon lost an arm. The Blade God vanished. He was never seen again. Afterward, the cult changed forever. The Lord's daughter, Cheon Yeo-Woon, became the new ruler. The cult elders altered the succession system. Yeo-Woon married 5 men throughout her life. Their descendants eventually became the foundations of the 6 great clans. To guide future generations, the Sword Demon established the Demonic Academy. He believed that one day a descendant of the Cheon bloodline would discover the founder's true teachings, and is the true cult lord. That was why the academy had been built above the detention center and near the sealed demonic chamber. 500 years passed. No one succeeded. Until Cheon Yeo-Woon. The director admitted that he had been observing Yeo-Woon since the beginning. He had noticed the traces of the true heavenly demonic sword art. Once again, he asked the same question. Had Yeo-Woon inherited the founder's epiphany? This time, Yeo-Woon nodded. The director immediately bowed. He declared Yeo-Woon the true successor of the heavenly demonic cult. Afterward, he escorted him to the Academy's secret vault. 3 keys were used to open the chamber. Inside rested relics from 500 years ago. An amputated arm, a piece of skin covered in sword markings. The arm belonged to the sword demon. The skin belonged to a guardian who had died centuries earlier. Nearby were books and records left behind by the sword demon himself. The director handed Yeo-Woon the key and quietly departed. 3 years and 7 months had passed since Yeo-Woon entered the academy. Only 64 cadets remained. Unlike previous generations, there were almost no rival factions left. Most of the heirs had already been defeated by Yeo-Woon. Only 2 vice lord candidates remained, Cheon Moo-yeon and Cheon Yeo-Woon. Meanwhile, Moo-yeon's followers began preparing a final plan. They intended to eliminate Yeo-Woon before the Battle of Heirs began. The next day, Yeo-Woon entered the cafeteria. As he received his meal, he noticed something strange about one of the cooks. He sat down and quietly tasted the soup. All of a sudden, he felt something. Then he finished every drop. That night, Moo-yeon's subordinates confronted Yeo-Woon's followers. At the same time, Yeo-Woon was ambushed elsewhere. 4 descendants of the great clans surrounded him. One of them laughed. Earlier that day, they had poisoned his food. For 6 hours, he should have been unable to use qi. Soon, his organs would melt from the inside. Yeo-Woon's expression darkened, especially after learning his subordinates had also been targeted. Without another word, he drew his sword. 1 slash. A sword shattered. An arm fell to the ground. The attackers froze. The Poison Clan descendants stared in disbelief. Yeo-Woon calmly extracted the poison from his body. Earlier, Nano had gathered the poison into one location and neutralized it. The ambush had failed before it even began. Moments later, another attacker collapsed. Yeo-Woon crushed his skull beneath his foot. The remaining attackers never stood a chance. When he reached his subordinates, they told him everything. That Moo-yeon's subordinates only offered to join. Yeo-Woon quickly understood the real objective behind the plot. Elsewhere, Moo-jin proudly informed Moo-yeon of their apparent success. But Moo-yeon showed no joy. He wanted to defeat Yeo-Woon personally, not through schemes. Suddenly, the door burst open. Instructor Ho entered and ordered both of them to follow him. They were escorted to an open field. Several corpses lay before them. The director was waiting. He immediately questioned them regarding the murders. Both denied any involvement. Then they examined the bodies. One had died from poison. Another had been killed by a Sound Clan technique. A third carried traces of Dark Clan martial arts. The evidence pointed directly toward them. At that moment, both men realized they had been trapped. Their own scheme had been turned against them. Then Yeo-Woon appeared. After inspecting the bodies, he calmly explained that no single person could use techniques from so many clans. It looked like a battle involving multiple participants. Moo-yeon immediately understood. Yeo-Woon had manipulated the evidence to create conflict among the clans. He had used their own plan against them. The conspirators were thrown into detention. Meanwhile, one of the bodies arrived at the Poison Clan. The clan was already grieving the death of its elder. Now their anger exploded. Their target became Lady Moo. Not long afterward, members of the Poison Clan infiltrated the Dark Clan's territory. But something was wrong. The estate appeared deserted. Then thousands of arrows descended from the darkness. Men screamed, Bodies fell. The battle had begun. Lady Mu emerged from the shadows. The Poison Clan leader was forced to his knees before her. With a single strike, she cut off his head. Afterward, she ordered her men to investigate Yeo-Woon further. 4 days passed. Mu Yeon's faction descended into chaos. Several cadets abandoned him. Others attempted to join Yeo-Woon. Only Samachak and Lee Se-hwem were accepted. The rest were rejected. That same day, Yeo-Woon made a surprising announcement. He was leaving the academy. His closest followers were stunned. Wang-hul, Moon-gyu, Baek-gi, Samachak. All would accompany him. Before departing, Yeo-Woon instructed the remaining members to continue training. Only by becoming stronger could they be useful in the future. That night, Yeo-Woon arrived at the Phantom Clan Manor. After presenting his medallion, he was escorted inside. His followers were stopped at the entrance. Only one person was allowed to accompany him. Moon-gyu stepped forward. Together, they entered the manor. Inside, 7 identical men sat around a table. Each looked exactly the same. One of them greeted Yeo-Woon. When Moon-gyu greeted them, they got nervous. She secretly informed Yeo-Woon that the real elder knew her true identity and had created the mask she wore. The elder explained that Yeo-Woon had come seeking his medallion. There were 2 ways to become Vice Lord. One required the support of the elite clan leaders. The other required recognition from 3 council elders. Before receiving the medallion, Yeo-Woon would face 2 tests. The first was simple: identify the real elder. Before the explanation finished, Yeo-Woon pointed behind him. The true elder was not one of the 7 men. It was the elder who escorted them inside. The man denied it. To prove his claim, Yeo-Woon attacked. The hidden elder blocked the strike. Yeo-Woon explained his reasoning. When Moon-gyu addressed the elder as uncle, none of the 7 men reacted. Throughout the conversation, another person had been secretly using sound transmission techniques. The real elder had revealed himself. The elder laughed and admitted defeat. Then the second test began immediately. Without warning, he attacked. The force of his kick sent Yeo-Woon crashing through a door. Yeo-Woon drew his sword. The elder did the same. A fierce battle erupted. Sword after sword collided. The elder became increasingly shocked by Yeo-Woon's mastery. In the end, Yeo-Woon managed to wound him. Then he delivered a precise strike that stopped inches from the elder's body. A massive scar appeared on the floor. The elder stared at it silently. Then he handed over the medallion. Yeo-Woon had passed. He was officially recognized as a Vice Lord candidate. As they prepared to leave, the elder offered them a place to stay. Yeo-Woon declined. There was someone else he wanted to visit first. Later, Yeo-Woon arrived at his residence. He pushed open the door. Then he stopped. Something felt wrong. The house was completely silent. He could no longer sense Guarjiang's presence. And for the first time in a long while, a feeling of unease appeared on Yeo-Woon's face. The house has been empty for the past 3 or 4 days, and there are no signs of a struggle. He commands Nano to scan the entire residence. The scan reveals only a single sword mark. Samachak explains that only 3 of the 6 major clans are known for using swords. Elsewhere, horrifying screams echo through a dark hallway. Jang hangs from chains, his body covered in blood. His fingers and toes have been severed, and a glowing piece of hot iron is pressed against his chest. Outside the prison cell sits Lady Mu. She coldly asks whether the cult lord ever taught Yeo-Woon martial arts. Despite the unbearable torture, Jang firmly denies it. Just then, one of her servants arrives and informs her that Yeo-Woon has left the academy. A cruel smile slowly spreads across Lady Mu's face. Meanwhile, Yeo-Woon is calmly eating with his subordinates inside an inn. They plan to observe how the clans react to his recent rise. Suddenly, a voice reaches his mind through telepathy, warning him not to make any suspicious movements. If he does, Jiang will be killed immediately. Without changing his expression, Yeo-Woon continues eating. At the same time, he orders Nano to locate the source of the telepathic message. The mysterious voice instructs him to come alone to the Poison Clan Manor at 1 o'clock in the morning. He must bring no weapons. If he attempts anything clever, Jiang will die. The moment the warning ends, Nano successfully pinpoints the sender's location. Yeo-Woon suddenly rises from his seat. At the same instant, several men hidden inside the inn stand up as well. Without hesitation, Yeo-Woon attacks. His blade flashes through the room, cutting down the hidden assassins before they can react. Yeo-Woon grabs one of them by the collar and demands answers. Before the man can utter a single word, his eyes roll back and he collapses unconscious. Realizing he has been silenced beforehand, Yeo-Woon orders his subordinates to take every assassin with them. Outside the inn, they thoroughly search the captured men but find nothing useful. Since they possess no valuable information, Yeo-Woon spares their lives and has them imprisoned for 2 days. Long before this incident, he had already sent 3 trusted subordinates to investigate the 3 major clans secretly. The first to return is Wang Hul. He reports that nothing unusual was happening inside the Sound clan. However, more than an hour has already passed since the scheduled return time for Samachak and Bayek-gi, and neither has appeared. Yeo-Woon immediately realizes something has gone wrong. Far away, Lady Mu quietly waits inside her manor as her men drag 2 captured youths before her. She had already predicted that Yeo-Woon would send spies into the major clans. Everything is unfolding exactly as she planned. That night, precisely at 1 in the morning, Yeo-Woon arrives alone at the Poison Clan Manor. Dozens of armed men silently stand on the rooftops surrounding the entire estate. Lady Mu was there with her personal army. The moment Yeo-Woon sees her, memories of his childhood flood his mind. He remembers the day she stood alongside the other clan wives, threatening that he would never be allowed to learn martial arts. Lady Mu mocks both him and his late mother with a look of complete disdain. Ignoring her insults, Yeo-Woon calmly asks about Jiang and his missing subordinates. Instead of answering, Lady Mu orders him to seal his internal energy. One of her men confidently approaches to restrain him. The instant the man reaches out, Yeo-Woon grabs his wrist, twists it until it snaps, and casually throws him aside. Then Yeo-Woon tosses a small wooden box toward Lady Mu. He tells her to open it. Confused, she slowly lifts the lid. Inside lies a single human eye. Lady Mu frowns in confusion. But the smile on Yeo-Woon's face sends a chill through her heart. Moments later, she recognizes it. It belongs to her son. Then she quickly convinces herself it cannot be true. Mu Yeon is locked inside the Academy Detention Center, and no one should have been able to reach him. 2 hours earlier, Yeo-Woon had secretly infiltrated the Academy's detention center. Using overwhelming force, he restrained Mu Yeon with his ki. Before Mu Yeon could even resist, Yeo-Woon sliced off his arms. Mu Yeon's agonizing screams echoed throughout the prison. Without mercy, Yeo-Woon gouged out one of his eyes and took it with him. Back at the manor, Yeo-Woon tossed Mu Yeon's identity medallion onto the ground. The moment Lady Mu sees it, every last doubt disappears. She finally realizes that Yeo-Woon has truly captured her son. Her arrogant expression immediately changes. She asks what he wants. Yeo-Woon demands the release of Jiang and his captured subordinates. Pretending to cooperate, Lady Mu orders her servants to bring them over. She then asks where Mu Yeon is being held. Yeo-Woon calmly replies that his own people are guarding Mu Yeon inside the academy. Outwardly, Lady Mu appears willing to negotiate. But in reality, she is merely buying time. She orders her uncle, Sun, to retrieve Mu Yeon from the academy. Through telepathy, she quietly gives him another command. Once Mu Yeon is safe, kill everyone. Sun secretly infiltrates the academy. Moving silently through the forest, he approaches the detention center. But everything is a trap. Instructor Ho has already been waiting for him. Realizing he has been discovered, Sun immediately orders his men to retreat. But all his men are slaughtered by the left guardian. Before Sun could do anything, the right guardian cut his head with a swift slash. Lady Mu waits impatiently inside the manor. Then suddenly, the left guardian jumps in, carrying Sun's severed head. Lady Mu's face turns pale. She immediately accuses the guardian of breaking the academy's rules by interfering. Before she can continue, one of her soldiers rushes over in panic. The manor has been surrounded. Moments later, another powerful figure steps inside. It is the 11th Council Elder. Lady Mu is left speechless. The Elder reports that Yeo-Woon's captured subordinates are safe. However, Jang's condition is critical. The moment Yeo-Woon hears those words, the killing intent surrounding him becomes overwhelming. Just then, Moon-gyu arrives alongside Wang Hul and Heo-bong. Both of them hold their swords against Mu-yeon and his cousin. Seeing her son being held hostage, Lady Mu can no longer remain calm. For the first time in her life, she kneels. Swallowing her pride, she admits defeat and offers to acknowledge Yeo-Woon as a Vice Lord candidate. At the same time, she secretly sends a telepathic message to Mu-yeon. She tells him to survive today and take revenge in the future. What she doesn't know is that Nano allows Yeo-Woon to intercept telepathic messages as well. Yeo-Woon slowly walks toward Wang Hul. He calmly orders him to release Mu-yeon. Lady Mu believes Yeo-Woon has accepted her surrender. The very next moment, Mu-yeon's remaining arm and both of his legs are severed instantly. His cousin suffers the same fate. Lady Mu screams and rushes toward her son. But before she can reach him, Yeo-Woon swings once more. Mu-yeon's head falls to the ground. Lady Mu collapses as she catches her son's lifeless head in her arms. Yeo-Woon looks at her without the slightest trace of sympathy. He tells her that the pain she is feeling now is the same pain he felt when he lost his own mother. With trembling lips, Lady Mu demands to know why he has done this. Yeo-Woon finally reveals the truth. He knows. She was the one who murdered his mother. He throws a letter onto the ground before her. It is Jong-sum's confession. Realizing there is no longer any reason to deny it, she openly admits everything. Instead of apologizing, she begins insulting Yeo-Woon's mother once again. Before another word can leave her mouth, a keyblade flashes. Both of Lady Mu's eyes are sliced open. She lets out a blood-curdling scream. Still refusing to stop, she continues cursing Yeo-Woon. This time, Yeo-Woon cuts away her lower jaw. Her screams instantly become muffled. One of the Dark Clan soldiers angrily threatens Yeo-Woon, warning him that the entire cult will seek revenge. Yeo-Woon simply opens a large wooden chest. Inside are the corpses of every Poison Clan warrior who had participated in the ambush. The soldiers instantly fall silent. Yeo-Woon gives a single order. Kill all of them. Without hesitation, his subordinates charge forward. The manor turns into a battlefield. Blood splashes across the courtyard as every remaining enemy is slaughtered. Yeo-Woon slowly walks toward Lady Mu. He places one foot on her head, forcing her face into the ground. Soon, the entire manor falls silent. Then he asks the 11th Council Elder to have his men spread poison over the bodies of the Dark Clan warriors. He wants the massacre to appear as though the two clans destroyed one another. Once everything is prepared, Yeo-Woon raises his blade one final time. With a single clean strike, Lady Mu's life ends. The following morning, shocking news spreads throughout the demonic cult. Both the Dark Clan and the Poison Clan have been completely wiped out. Meanwhile, outside the Flying Phantom Clan's guest quarters, Yeo-Woon anxiously waits for news about Jiang. At last, the physician steps outside. He informs Yeo-Woon that Jiang's condition has stabilized. Relieved, Yeo-Woon thanks him. He then gathers his subordinates. The cult lord will soon return. Before that happens, Yeo-Woon still needs to secure two more witnesses. His next destination, the Hazy Demon Clan. Its leader is Yeon-Mu-Hwa, the 10th Council Elder and the only true martial artist remaining within the clan. She possesses an unusual personality. She never leaves her manor, and she never accepts visitors. A short time later, Yeo-Woon and his group arrive outside the Hazy Demon Clan manor. Haobong steps forward and knocks on the gate. He politely introduces Yeo-Woon as the 12th Council Elder and requests an audience. After a long wait, the attendant returns. He bows apologetically. The Elder refuses to meet anyone unless the cult lord orders it personally. Yeo-Woon quickly realizes just how stubborn she is. Instead of leaving, he sends in a single message. Do you walk the same path as the Dark Clan and the Sword Clan? The words cause immediate chaos inside the manor. Moments later, the gates swing open. The attendant returns and respectfully invites Yeo-Woon inside. Standing before them is the 10th Council Elder herself. The instant Yeo-Woon greets her, she explodes with rage. Without another word, she draws her sword. She is furious that Yeo-Woon dared compare her clan to the Dark and Sword clans. She attacks immediately. Yeo-Woon barely manages to block her strike in time. The Elder slides backward, unable to hide her surprise. She cannot believe someone so young has completely neutralized her technique. Yeo-Woon is equally surprised. He instantly recognizes the sword art she is using. The true demon sword. The Elder freezes. She immediately suspects Yeo-Woon was sent by someone known only as No Name. Yeo-Woon honestly admits he has no idea who that person is. The Elder becomes even more confused. If he has met No Name, how does he know the true demon sword? Determined to uncover the truth, she attacks again. Yeo-Woon nullifies every technique she throws at him. After all her attacks fail, she unleashes her ultimate move. Yeo-Woon dodges it and immediately counters. His sword strikes her wrist, sending her sword flying from her hand. The Elder drops to her knees. Yeo-Woon places his sword against her neck. He asks about her relationship with the Dark Clan and the Sword Clan, as they are his greatest enemies. The Elder suddenly realizes he is the 7th prince. She takes a deep breath and begins telling her story. 500 years ago, the sword demon had 3 disciples. Following tradition, he planned to choose the most talented one as his successor. The other 2 would become bodyguards of the cult lord. However, greed consumed them. The 2 disciples sought power by marrying into influential families with the support of several mid-sized clans. Enraged by their betrayal, the sword demon abandoned all 3 disciples. Because of their ambition, the ancestor Hong-Su was dragged into the conflict. Before the sword demon could take another disciple, he passed away. His lineage came to an end. Hong-Su later founded a new clan and declared himself the true successor of the sword demon. However, the Council of Elders refused to recognize him. Instead, they acknowledged the Dark Clan and the Sword Clan, both founded by the other 2 disciples. When Hong-Su protested, he was imprisoned. After his release, he established the Hazy Demon Sword Clan. His goal was to preserve the Sword Demon's legacy, restore the true demon sword, and remain loyal only to the cult lord. After hearing the story, Yeo-Woon respectfully acknowledges her as the true descendant of the sword demon. The Elder is visibly moved. Yeo-Woon then makes her an offer. If she recognizes him as a vice lord candidate, he promises to free the demonic cult from the control of the 6 great clans. The Elder is shaken by his words. At that moment, Haobong steps forward. He tells her that Yeo-Woon is the one responsible for bringing down both the Poison Clan and the Dark Clan. Yeo-Woon makes one final offer. If she recognizes him, he will pass down the true demon sword to her. He steps back and demonstrates the complete true demon sword technique. The Elder watches every movement in silence. When the demonstration ends, she slowly sits on the ground. Now that she has finally witnessed the complete true demon sword, she enters the state of 5 chi unification. Suddenly, a poisoned dart flies toward her. Yeo-Woon's team immediately captures the hidden attackers. Before they can be questioned, most of them bite down on poison and kill themselves. Only one survives after Yeo-Woon removes the poison tooth from his mouth. Knowing the spy will never reveal anything, Yeo-Woon kills him. A brilliant light surrounds the elder. Moments later, her old skin begins peeling away. When the process ends, she emerges with a completely reconstructed body. She kneels before Yeo-Woon and swears her loyalty to him. Later, inside the library, Yeo-Woon asks about her connection to the Dark Clan and the Sword Clan. The elder explains that years ago, while training alone, she encountered a masked man. She attacked him, but lost after a single move. The mysterious man told her that if she truly wished to continue the Sword Demon's lineage, she should come to a mountain 4 days later. Then he disappeared. When she arrived at the mountain, the leaders of the Dark Clan and the Sword Clan were already waiting. The masked man introduced himself only as No Name. He demonstrated the true demon sword. Then he declared that he would pass it on only to the one who truly inherited the sword demon's will. After that, he demonstrated another martial art, the 24 demon sword. He taught them the first 3 techniques and gave them 3 years to master them. Whoever mastered them the best would become the successor of the 24 demon sword. 3 years later, all 3 had mastered the techniques equally well. Unable to choose a successor, No Name extended the competition for another 2 years. Even then, there was still no winner. So he gave them another 3 years. This time, they had to master the first technique of the 24 demon sword. Yeo-Woon was deeply surprised. The 24 demon sword was hidden inside the Academy's secret vault. How could No Name possibly know it? Determined to uncover the truth, Yeo-Woon decides to meet the mysterious man himself.